Okay, in my previous video, I alluded to a little known fact that Meghan could actually lose Archie if things get nasty with the Queen. And to explain what I mean, I've got this web page here. I've known about this for before Archie was born, actually. So let's have a quick look, because there's actually a 300-year-old rule that's still on the books that says the Queen of England has legal custody over all her minor great grandchildren, including Archie. So if Megan starts mucking around too much, the Queen can actually say, okay, I want Harry and Archie to come back to England, and Megan, you can stay in the US because I have control over the kids. And not many people know, well, if you're a royal person, you'll know that the Queen actually's got to give permission for it's like William's kids to go on holidays and everything, and so yeah, it's an old rule. So we'll have a bit of a read here. The royal family has hundreds of royal rules and traditions that other families don't have. Most of the rules go back hundreds of years and are still observed today. One of these rules dates back to 1717 that states the monarch must have legal custody of minor royal children. Technically, Queen Elizabeth has legal custody of her four minor great grandchildren who were born during the last 5 years. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are parents of three children: Prince George, 5, Princess Charlotte, 3, and 1 year old Prince Louis. When was this? This was 2 years ago, so you're a bit older than that now. Duke and Duchess of Sussex have a 2-month-old son named Archie. Harris, Mountbatten, Windsor. Both sets of parents are proud of their children and allowed to raise them as they see fit. However, it is the country's monarch who has legal custody of all of them. So, begs the question, why does Queen Elizabeth have legal custody? So this explains it. Royal historians say Queen Elizabeth has legal custody of all her minor great-grandchildren based on law that is more than 300 years old, so we established that in 1717. The 93-year-old monarch, or should be 95 now, does not interfere with the children's upbringing, although she has authority to do so. So that's what I'm saying. Meghan's got to be careful here. It was no problem for 10 out of 12 judges to pass the law way back in 1717. The judges agreed that the monarch should have the authority to supervise and make major decisions concerning minor grandchildren. King George was the monarch at the time the law was passed. He did not think his son, the future King George II, was fit enough to parent his own children. King George wanted himself to become the guardian over his grandchildren instead of leaving it up to his son to make major decisions concerning him. So, yeah, we'll blame King George for this, or thank him. Looking into the future, maybe we'll thank him. According to royal expert Marlene Koenig, the law has never been taken off the royal books. The original wording remains the same today, that the monarch is in charge of grandchildren's care, education, where they live. There we go. So Archie, even though he's in the US, the Queen can say, "No, mate, you and Harry, or Harry could stay there. She could just take Archie in and say, well, I'll just go live with Auntie Kate and Uncle William." That's what theoretically could happen here. So there we go. So just what I was saying at the beginning of the video, where they live and when and where they can travel. So they had to get permission from the Queen to go to move to the US. So it was, they should thank the Queen. Here we go. Sorry, and when they travelled, the monarch was also in charge of appointing the children's caregivers when they were young, so the nannies and so forth. Then when they are ready to get married, the monarch has to agree to it. Prince William and Prince Harry had to get their grandmother's permission to marry, so parts of the law are still enforced. Yeah, so that's why the Queen has so much power. When Prince Harry and William were minors, Prince Charles and Princess Diana needed Queen Elizabeth's permission in advance for the boys to travel with them. I've heard about this before. After their divorce, Princess Diana took her two boys to many places with her, but only after she was granted permission in advance. Custody arrangements are usually part of most divorce decrees. However, no custody arrangements were stated in the divorce decree of Prince Charles and Diana or in the decree of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson. That's because the parents were never legal custodians of their own children. See, people don't understand this. This is the law. that Meghan thinks she's got all this power, but she doesn't. The Queen has all the power. So she can play all the little games she wants, but the Queen can trump her every time. Checkmate. There we go. That's because the monarch's custody arrangements remain the same as it has always been. Princess Diana requested to have her children raised by her brother and mother in case of her death, but Buckingham Palace just ignored her request based on the monarch's custody law of 1717. So yeah, Princess Diana had no say in it at all. Although the official royal law states the Queen is in charge, she doesn't interfere with the parental styles of the duchesses. However, she could if she found it necessary. I hope Meghan is watching this video. Meghan, have you thought this through? Have you thought this through? You think you've got all this power? You don't. You don't have any power. Sorry. The little baby is technically the Queen's, so be nice to her. So far, there hasn't been any news made public that Queen Elizabeth has objected to anything the Duke and Duchesses have done to cause the great-grandmother to step in with her own decisions. Maybe Meghan's just waiting it out and thinking the Queen hasn't got too many years to live. Maybe that's what she's doing. If she isn't pleased with a major decision William and Kate make concerning their children, she could step in. The same goes with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, now that they have a son who was born on May 6, 2019. Present day law. So they're alliterating. Iterating, that's what it is. Iterating this. The rule hasn't changed in 300 years. Therefore, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are not the legal guardians of their own children, just as the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are not legal guardians of their 3 minor children. More than likely, Queen Elizabeth will not prevent the Duke and Duchess of Sussex from making major decisions about their own son, Archie Harris of Mountbatten, Windsor. However, she could if she wanted to do so. The law still exists today on paper that Queen Elizabeth is the legal guardian of 3 minor children of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and the 1 minor child of Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and also the one that will be born in, who knows, maybe 8 months. The law is still in the books, but is more of a formality and is not actually enforced by the Queen of England. When Prince Charles becomes King of England, he will then have legal custody of his grandchildren. If that law will ever get banned, it will probably happen during his reign because he knows firsthand what it's like to have to ask permission for certain things involving royal children. He had to get permission for his own children when they were minors. For example, Prince Charles had to get permission from his mother to allow Prince William to travel to the United States when he was a teenager in the 1990s. So there we go. That's an eye-opener. I'll leave the article in the description because I looked at a few of them. This was the one that explained it really well and very simply. And there's not too much to it, really. Meghan shouldn't be thinking that she can play little games with the Queen and do too many things that she wants to do, because the Queen can actually sort of think, oh, Meghan's not really a great mother anymore. I'm just going to take Archie away. So there we go, guys. Leave your comments below. What do you think about this law? Do you think the Queen might enact it in the future if Meghan doesn't toe the line in certain respects and displeases the Queen more than she has already? Because I think the Queen probably is not too pleased with her at the moment. Reading between the lines from her statements about the royal duties, I don't think she's happy with Meghan and Harry at the moment, and especially Meghan. So there we go, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.